Sohcahtoa. The S stands for. This is how you spell Sohcahtoa. The S stands for sine, the C stands for cosine, and the T stands for tangent. The O stands for opposite, the H stands for hypotenuse. So this is sine. The A stands for adjacent, the H stands for hypotenuse, and this is cosine. The O stands for opposite, the A stands for adjacent, and that's tangent.
So Katie, how do we solve for a side?
To solve for a side, you have to find the angle you know and look at Sohcahtoa. Once you know the angle you know, you look to see what trig function would work. When you see 40 and you look next to it, you find adjacent, which is 19. Then you look across from the 90-degree angle at the hypotenuse, which is x, h for right now. Then you write out cos, which this is what the trig function is, the angle, which is 40, equals adjacent, because adjacent comes before hypotenuse, so 19 over x. To solve for this, because x is in the denominator, you have to switch x and cos 40 around. To rewrite it, you write x equals 19 over cos 40. Taylor, how do you solve that in your calculator?
To solve for the side of x, you would type in 19 divided by cos 40, parenthesis, equals, and then x equals 24.8.
So Katie, how do you solve for an angle?
To solve for an angle, you have to find the angle that you're going to solve for. For this problem, we're going to solve for angle A. Once you know what angle you're going to solve for, you have to look at the trig function you need to use by looking at the other numbers. Here, when you look at A and you look across from it, the opposite is 24. Next to the opposite is the adjacent, which is 18. When you figure out these two things, you can tell that it is tangent because it's opposite and adjacent. Next, you write the measure of angle A equals the trig function, which is tangent, and then you have to put -1, the inverse function, because you're trying to find an angle, parentheses, opposite, which is 24, over 18. Taylor, how do we solve for this in your calculator?
To find the measure of angle A, you would do second tan, and then 24 divided by 18, and another parenthesis, and then equals. And then the measure of angle A would equal 53.13.
Riley!
Guys, let's go on a road trip!
Yeah! Where?
I'll give you a hint. It's a state and it starts with a D.
Denver!
Yeah!
What are we doing there?
We're gonna look at mountains.
Cool, let's go!
Okay. Whoa, guys, look at this mountain.
It's so cool!
It's so pretty. I wonder how close we are to the top.
Well, we're 43 feet away from the base of it.
And we're at a 76-degree angle from the top.
That's really close. I bet we could use Sohcahtoa to figure it out.
Yeah!
Let's go home and try to figure it out.
Let's go.
Okay, let's go.
Guys, the mountain was so cool.
Yeah, that was awesome.
Let's try to figure out how far away we were from the top.
Okay, we can use Sohcahtoa.
Yeah.
So we know we were 43 feet away from the base of the mountain. And we know that we were 76 degrees from the top of the mountain, so we have to solve for x. We'll use cosine because we're going to go from our angle and use the adjacent and the hypotenuse. So, we write cos 76 equals 43 over x, and we'll have to switch these. So we get x equals 43 over cos 76. Taylor, do you want to plug that into the calculator to see how far away we were from the top of the mountain?
So we already know how to plug it into the calculator by using a side, so this is how we do it for this problem.
First we do 43 over cos 76, parenthesis, and then equals, and it's 177.74.
We were that close to the top of the mountain.
That's sweet!
Oh, yeah!
Oh, you guys are even in it. Taylor, do you want to plug that into the calculator to see how far away we were from the top of the mountain?
No!
The